Shem, on Wednesday we were reading Sohbat from Sheikh Effendi. You were reading it to us.
Yes.
And one of the lessons you went over was for servants to be content with, it's enough for them to be serving. That's a big
Yes.
contentment for them.
Yes.
And during the waz,
Serving is according to whatever capacity you're serving. Some people do this, some people do that. And as servants, we should not, Sheikh Effendi is saying, you should not have envy for each other. Everyone is a servant. Whether the one is in the barn or the one is leading the prayers, the one is cooking or the one who's giving the food. Yes.
So just now when you're saying this, it reminds me of when Sahib Saif was, in a way, giving his farewell address here, and he had everyone sitting in a line, and he was sitting where you're sitting right now, and he thanked each person individually for a way that they served to make things a little, I want to say easier, but to help in whichever capacity that they could. And then when he came to your name, he thanked you for everything. He said that you're covering him in so many ways, not just one, in every way. But during the waz, we're reading Sheikh Maulana Sohbat, and in that, Sheikh Maulana was saying the hadith where Prophet ﷺ he had his Sahaba lined up and he asked, what are you giving, in the way of Allah? And Hazrat Abu Bakr said, he's giving everything and leaving nothing for his family, he's giving everything. I don't want to mix my words. And when he came to Hazrat Omar, he said he was giving half. And I don't remember the full story, but Sheikh Maulana was saying that this was the moment where Hazrat Omar realized his whole time where he was Sahabi with Sayyidina Abu Bakr that they were competing. He viewed him that he was trying to compete and catch up, and this was the moment where he realized he wouldn't catch up to him. So it reminded me of Sheikh Effendi Sohbat, where he's saying that you must be content with where you are and in the service that you're doing. But when I always heard that story, I always thought of it that it's not that Sayyidina Umar couldn't give everything. He did give everything, but that he was giving half as a lesson to the Ummah that if... I'm sorry I'm speaking so much that...
Keep talking. It's okay.
I always viewed it that he's giving half because he knew that if he gave everything, it would become a precedent and it'd become too heavy for the ummah that we have to give everything. That it's showing that it's okay, to have savings and to tie your camel in a sense. But Sheikh Maulana was explaining a little bit differently that he realized there was something else in there that he realized he couldn't catch up. And my question kind of comes that we're following the way of Siddiq al-Akbar, and how do we see these grand gestures that Sayyidina Abu Bakr gives, but we also know that we can't reach that, we're too weak for that, and it's okay for us to... I don't
How?
know.
You gave the answer in the question. Who is the biggest follower of Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq?
Sayyidina Umar.
First, be rest assured, I'm not asking anything from you. None of you are giving this or half or this or no. So is Hazrat Umar. But it's coming to my heart when he is sincere in that. Because the Prophet ﷺ also said, he excels in you, not through prayers or service, but through a secret that is given. But the secret that was given to Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq has to be passed too. Nobody takes that secret to the grave. It has to be passed. Nothing belongs to us. And so, how to? Step by step. See, if you know yourself a little bit, then you stop fighting with others and you start fighting with yourself. You stop competing with others and you start competing with yourself, meaning be satisfied first. What do I mean competing with yourself? Okay, Look at the work you're doing. Be happy with it. And then say, how I can make this more beautiful for my Lord. Not for others, so that they can say how beautiful it is. And that time you start having conversation with your Lord, with your Prophet, with your Allah. And every time you do something, while you're doing it, you remember why, and you want to make it good. And that time, if you get reminded or washed up why you're doing it like this, you take it for what it is. Like, oh, I missed that point. I didn't do that. If I do that, it'd be more beautiful. Yes, you agree. You're not going to fight back or spoiled or get upset. Oh, I did this with my heart. Why he has to say something? He has to say because he's a trainer. You don't scold the teacher back because the teacher gave you a wrong to the answer that you give wrong. You say, oh, I missed that, so we must learn more. This is basic. So we know this from school and from life, but when we put to religion or spirituality, we become very ignorant and arrogant, and we cannot put it. If we put it, we will gain so much. So, but you will have to go through these different phases. It's necessary. It's necessary to know that this, you think you're such a humble person, come to the dargah, we'll see how humble you are. You think that you're so kind, come to the dargah, we'll see how kind you are. Everything needs to be tested. The whole point is you know yourself. Maybe the shaykh will look at you and they know already. But if you want to go to the station that Allah has created for you, and everybody must, and you hold on to that shaykh now, then slowly you say, I'm willing to learn. Are you willing to learn? Everyone has to learn. Then you'll say, this is not even personal. In fact, if the shaykh doesn't correct you, that means he has given up on you. Teacher doesn't even correct a student. Right? Doesn't care the student is there or not. He's given up. But if the teacher is saying, by this way or this way, sometimes easy way, sometimes hard way, sometimes with words, sometimes with dreams, it's to bring us to the station where we understand ourselves. Oh, I thought I was so humble, but that was just, I'm pretending. I thought I was so kind. I thought I was so knowledgeable. I'm pretending. I don't know so much. Now you become even more humble. Then you become even more willing to learn. You must break this idol of yourself that you have about yourself. La ilaha illallah. You break that and it becomes more. It breaks that, it becomes bigger. So, this is how it is, inshallah. It's step by step. But you must have a standard. Is our standard Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq? We cannot even come close to those ones who are close to him. But how beautiful is that? And we make the intention. Intention is important in Islam. You do something without the intention, you're not going to get rewarded so much. You're not going to get the blessing so much. You do good things with the wrong intention, you're not going to get blessings at all. But we intend to do something, but we don't have the means to do it. That ant in the Quran that intended to turn off the fire of Nimrud to burn Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam, he is mentioned by Allah. If that ant is mentioned to do something impossible, but because he has the firm intention, then what about us who have been created to know Allah? That ant has not been created to know Allah, we are. Why we don't even have big intentions? The whole point of the khutbah also is not to say we must do something, we must do something. We cannot do anything, but at least we must have that intention. And that intention, it cannot be left alone just like that. Okay, you look, everyone make the intention. No. If you can organize people to shout and scream, if you can organize people to collect money, if you can organize people to do something, why can't you organize people to pray and to make munajat, to make dua, to make intention to Allah. Why can't we at least do that? Why is it so difficult? Especially in this day and age, to say we dedicate tomorrow, or today is Jummah, right? In Jummah, next week, in every masjid, in every country, everyone who is going, you're going to raise their hands and we're going to pray for Gaza. The whole world, how difficult is that? People are doing stupid things to influence each other. Stupid things that makes you become more idiot. Through dancing and this and that, and the whole world is following. Why we cannot do this? Why is Allah taking away this intelligence? This is not, Allah is not taking away the intelligence. We are taking it away from ourselves because our hearts are dead. What's so difficult to organize it? Okay, leave the whole world, 1 country, 2 countries, 3 countries. There's so many Muslim countries. To say everyone, just for that specifically, we're going to pray. Oof, you cannot even do it. And they're talking about the unity of the ummah? Something is very, very wrong with the heads. The heads must think. The heads are the ones who must think. The hands don't think. The feet don't think. The heads, they're not thinking. We're asking Allah to remove the heads and to bring new heads. You see, so intention, even that intention. And why if you can do it 1 time, why you cannot do it 2 times or 3 times or 4? Because they say no, don't. They're very afraid from the power of the dua. Allah. We're not even allowed to make that dua loudly in the Haram al-Sharif. Even America now is making it haram for anyone. They're trying to, yes? It's against the law now to criticize Zionism. Like this or like that is America, or there'll be people who are going to fight that. Don't think they're just going to lie down. We are not a nation that takes everything for nothing. They will fight. There's still people. That's why the blessing is in this country. But what about all the other countries now? What about the Muslim countries? And there are non-Muslim countries who have a bigger conscience, bigger understanding of haq and batil than the Muslims. Ahir Zaman. Everybody talks about Mahdi alayhi salam, but no one is talking about Dajjal. And when they talk about Dajjal, they want it to be just like a comic book creature, monster. Just that. And magical things going to happen. But our Mashayikh has been telling us, before the big Dajjal appears, smaller Dajjals will appear. 99 of them have already appeared. 99 Dajjals, small, to prepare the big Dajjal to come out. In much the same way as 124,000 prophets, the biggest one, the Holy Prophet was last. Every prophet was preparing the ummah for that one, yes? In fact, every prophet talked about the Holy Prophet ﷺ. To say, if he comes tomorrow, don't follow me anymore, follow that one. Everything I've taught you, you have to cancel, follow that one. And every prophet also talked about Dajjal. And it means every prophet also spoke about Mahdi alayhi salam. So this is not a knowledge that is unusual or strange. This is just a knowledge that was lost because we choose to bury it. That's all. We choose to bury it. So, this is not to make people to be paranoid, to be scared, to be this. This is to make us to be smart, to prepare ourselves to understand. So they're looking for that. Ismail Kazu is not here. They're looking for what? Gojiro? Godzilla kind of Dajjal? They're looking for that? Huh? So easy now. Wrong Muslims are saying, no Mahdi is coming. Mahdi is a spirit, it's a movement. They say it's not person. And it's okay if you don't believe. It's not part of Aqidah. Maybe it's not part of Aqidah if it's part of your belief. And if the Prophet says and you don't believe, what does that make you? What does that make you? I'm not the one to make fitna, but the Prophet says this is going to happen. You say, I don't think so. And it's not a small thing, it's a big thing. It's not a small thing. It's not about eating this or wearing this. It's about the biggest thing. And now they're saying, if you don't believe, it's okay. It's not a matter of Aqidah. Allah. As Shah Effendi had said in the khutbah that we were reading, in the sohbat, he said, the biggest ones who are going to lead this nation astray, number one, is the alims. Wrong alims, of course. We're not talking about the right alims. And now, after so much, then we see the right alims are standing up to fight against the wrong alims. Good, very good. A little bit too late, a bit too little, but at least you're doing something. Because we see the batil is always together. But you see people who say that they are haq, they fight against each other, they give fatwas against each other, they say, no, I'm this one, I'm this one, and this one. So it's good. Because that's exactly what Dajjal is doing. He's going to cause confusion. Confusion. And the biggest armies, when confusion is caused, you can win that war very easy. So people are looking for the signs. Oh, what are the signs? Oh, all the mountains turn green. All the deserts turn green. Oh, it's a sign. Yes, there's a physical signs. But there are also other bigger signs that are there. They don't like to discuss that. They don't like to discuss about... Anyway, Muslims are not interested in this anymore. Interested or not, this religion will stand. With or without us, this religion will stand. We should not think we're anyone. May we be those ones who are on the right side, asking for the right things, to have big intentions. We're asking Allah for our forgiveness, inshallah, for the sake of the Prophet ﷺ. Al-Fatiha.